So, did you know that Earth, our home, is the third planet from the Sun? It is the only planet known to have an atmosphere containing free oxygen, oceans of liquid water on its surface, and of course, life.
So is it just me, or is the world getting hotter every single day? And no, before you start apologizing, it's not because of you. And why is it when we're on a beach, the sand is hotter than the sea? Do you know the answer to this phenomenon?
Well, the answer is pretty simple. The answer is the concept of heat. Heat. So what exactly is heat? And is it the opposite of cold, or what? Heat is energy transferred from one body to another by thermal interactions. Heat is not a property of a system or a body, but instead is always associated with a process of some kind, and is synonymous with heat flow and heat transfer.
Heat always moves from a warmer place to a cooler place. In this example, we placed an ice cube on our palm, where the heat actually transfers from the hand to the ice cube and not the other way round. To answer your previous question, we must first understand the concept of specific heat. Specific heat is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of material by 1 degree. In this case, sand has a lower specific heat, which is why it adapts faster to temperature change than the sea, which is why sand is hotter during the day and sea is not. Heat transfers in 3 ways: conduction, convection, and radiation.
So the first type of heat transfer is conduction. When you heat a metal rod at one end, the heat travels to the other end, which is why when you expose your spoon to heat when you are, let's say, stirring your hot coffee, you'll end up feeling the heat on the opposite end.
As you heat the metal, the particles vibrate, and these vibrations make the adjacent particles vibrate, and so on, where the vibrations are passed along the metal, and so is the heat. We call this conduction.
Some materials are better at transferring heat than others, like how your sister is probably better at singing than you. Rachael. So, conductors are basically the ones better at heat transferring. This is because conductors allow the free flow of electrons. Now, examples of these conductors are wires, cables, and etc. Cooking utensils, kettles, saucepans, and boilers, where they are usually made of aluminium or stainless steel. Soldering iron rods, as they are made of iron with a tip made of copper.
Insulators, on the other hand, are not quite engaged in the art of heat transfer. They do not allow the free flow of electrons, hence they are bad conductors. Examples of these insulators are thermos, sawdust, which is used to cover ice blocks, handles of saucepans, handles of kettles, handles of teapots, which are usually made of wood or plastic, table mats, wooden ladles. Convection. Convection occurs when you heat liquid or gas, creating the particles to spread out and become less dense.
So cold air or water sinks, and warm air or water rises.
It can only take place in a liquid or a gas, so if you say that solid matter undergoes convection, you have the entire concept confused. Last but not least, radiation. How does heat energy get from the sun to the earth? There are no particles between the sun and the earth, so it cannot travel by conduction or by convection. In radiation, heat is transferred by energetic waves through vacuum.
Another example of radiation is the feeling of heat on your face when you're gathering around the campfire. The heat is transferred in straight lines from the campfire that is emitted and reaches your face. So, there you have it, the basic concepts of heat and heat transfer. We'll see you next time on #CiticsAngels. Goodbye!